When you slip on the ice during winter, you shouldn't shrug it off as a minor accident. If even a minor fall results in broken bones, you may have osteoporosis. In recent years, osteoporosis has become more common among men and women alike.
Most men don't break their bones after a fall. In this case, the fracture was caused by osteoporosis. Osteoporosis weakens the bones by reducing calcium and other minerals contained in the bones.
I'm relatively young and a man, so I didn't even imagine that it could be osteoporosis. I was very surprised.
Osteoporosis is no longer a condition that only affects the elderly or women.
Osteoporosis does occur in men, although it is uncommon. Insufficient vitamin D due to lack of outdoor activity or eating habits, like skipping breakfast, can cause a lack of minerals needed to form the bones.
Osteoporosis, you would imagine older folks having trouble with that, but we saw the young man in the video now. Is this common for young men to be suffering from osteoporosis?
So osteoporosis in men may be more common than you think. Although the risk for osteoporosis is greater in women overall, we're seeing more and more osteoporosis in men. Actually, up to 1 in 4 men greater than age 50 years old will develop an osteoporotic fracture sometime in their life. There was a national health insurance study that showed that among young women less than 40 years of age, the incidence of osteoporosis is actually going down. But in men in that same young age bracket, the incidence is actually going up. Also, surprisingly, in men, they have a higher chance of dying after an osteoporotic fracture. So osteoporosis can be very serious in men.
Could smoking and drinking contribute to osteoporosis?
That's a very good question. So definitely there are certain lifestyle factors that can lead to osteoporosis. Smoking is one of them, excessive alcohol intake, physical inactivity. Also, there are certain diseases that can lead to osteoporosis, such as rheumatoid arthritis, chronic kidney disease, and lung disease. A couple weeks ago, we talked about low testosterone level leading to osteoporosis. Glucocorticoid steroid use can lead to osteoporosis in both men and women. But smoking is especially bad because what it does is it activates the cells that break down the bones in the body.
So I'm assuming secondhand smoking will also increase your chance of maybe developing osteoporosis?
That does seem to be the case. There was a study done here in Korea recently that showed that among postmenopausal women, their chances of developing osteoporosis, even if they were non-smokers, was higher if they were exposed to secondhand smoke due to an actively smoking family member. And there was a study in China that showed similar results among premenopausal women as well, where they had a 3 times greater risk for developing osteoporosis when they were exposed to secondhand smoke.
Now, this may be an ignorant question, but my knees hurt sometimes after I spend the whole day on my high heels. Is this something... Does this have anything to do with osteoporosis?
Get some flats.
But how do you know when you have osteoporosis is my question. It's a better question.
Yeah, so your knees probably have to do more with joint problems, but osteoporosis is largely an asymptomatic disease. It's called the silent bone thief in some cases. And so a lot of people, they just are not aware that their bones are actually weak. There was a nationwide survey done here in Korea that showed about 40% of women greater than 50 years old actually have osteoporosis, but more than 1/3 of them were completely unaware of their diagnosis. So it's very important for men and women who have risk factors to get screened for osteoporosis with a simple X-ray.
Okay, so a simple X-ray could help, but basically there's no symptoms, there's no signs of it. So if you do fall down and you do happen to break something, then that's when it'll cause some major problems for you.
Exactly. So their osteoporosis, some people might think, well, you break a bone, you heal it, no big deal. But that's not the case. Osteoporosis can significantly cause delayed bone healing.
Because of the holes in the blood.
Exactly.
I mean, in the bone.
Exactly. Also, there's a lot of disability associated with osteoporosis. If someone breaks a hip, for example, they can be immobilized in bed for months. There's a lot of pain associated with the broken bones of osteoporosis, and there is mortality associated with osteoporosis as well. Surprisingly, the mortality rate, the 5-year mortality rate for men who have had an osteoporotic fracture is greater than a lot of cancers.
Right.
Really?
So it's a very serious condition, especially if you don't know that you have osteoporosis, it seems like. So how can we prevent prevent developing such condition?
Yeah, prevention is key, and it really needs to start at an early age. So boys and girls, they should be having enough vitamin D and calcium in their diet. They need to be active, getting enough exercise as well, avoiding those risk factors such as smoking, excessive drinking will be helpful. Also, in terms of exercise, you should remember the 3-4 rule, which is 30 to 40 minutes of exercise, 3 to 4 times a week. That should be enough for keeping your bones
It's more than enough.
So basically being healthy. And the question is, why am I smelling fish in the studio?
No, I guess you're going to tell us to eat all of this on a daily basis.
Last night on my way home from work, I stopped by the supermarket and got some bone-healthy foods. And they include foods that are high in calcium and vitamin D. So you have sort of green leafy vegetables like
take a few of
kale,
these almonds,
bok choy, broccoli, fruits such as oranges, also dried figs, apricots are high in calcium. Of course, the dairy foods, milk, cheese, and yogurt are high in calcium. The smelly fish is because of mackerel, which is an oily fish, very high in vitamin D. Salmon also is a good source of vitamin D as well.
And is that a cookie I see? This?
That's actually cheese.
Sorry, so
I have to see this cheese.
yeah, okay. The cheese is good for you.
Cheese is
Okay,
fruit.
got it.
There are a lot of fortified foods these days as well, like fruit juices, cereals that have a lot of vitamin D and calcium put inside. So it's important to look at the labels, read the labels, and eat a bone-healthy diet.
All right, so make sure you get enough calcium in your diet as well as vitamin D, and also keep regular exercise, the 3-4 rule, 30 to 40 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week, and keep osteoporosis away. All right, Dr. Tan, thank you for joining us today.